It's tough in practices. You try to get the move the ball periods or 2-minute drives and try to get in the rhythm. But I'm learning so much, man. I mean, every day I come out of meetings, we have so much knowledge in that room with all those guys. My notebooks are getting filled up, and out here every day, man, it's something new comes up. You learn a new situation. See a play a different way. Missed some that I definitely want back, but they're great learning experiences. And anytime you can have it out here instead of week 1, 2, all the way to 16, 17, it's a growing experience. And I think I'm growing. I think the offense is growing, and I like more where I'm headed. I would say more than where I'm at.
Case, is there a challenge to the limited reps that each one of you are getting? And Jay was talking about maybe it's tough if you aren't great on, say, the first 7, but then you would have had, say, another 7. You would have been great, and he doesn't get to see that. Does that ever happen with you? Do you feel like sometimes, gosh,
I don't know if I look at it that way. I mean, I've competed in this league for a long time, and I've had to share reps, everywhere I go. And do I want them all? Yeah, I want to take all the reps. But I know that I've got to stand behind and I've got to pretend like I'm in the rep. I've been at places where I was competing for the backup. I traded days. I had a day off, and then I'd get the backup reps the next day. I had a day, and I didn't like that at all. So the fact that every day we're getting out there and competing, I'm getting reps. Not just mental reps where I'm watching, but actually in it too. It's been good. Excuse me.
Keith, how do you balance the sense of cooperation with the sense of competition among the quarterbacks, especially when you've got a young guy in the room like Dwayne Haskins who probably needs to be brought along to a degree?
They're probably what?
Needs to be brought along to a degree, developed.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the business. I think we have some pride as a position group together. I think that when we as a group are better, the whole team is better. So I think we push each other. We push ourselves. That we all want each other to do well, because that reflects better as an offense. So and that reflects better for our coach. Coach Rattay, Kev, those guys. So I think we all want to play well, and we all want each other to play well at the same time.
Does this feel different? I'm over here. Does this feel different than any of your other battles that you've had in other camps and other years?
Uh-huh.
How so? Elaborate, please.
It's always different. There's a lot of different situations that can come up. I mean, being in LA when Jared was drafted number 1 overall, similar type deal. But that was a whole new offense we were putting in at that point, had a new coordinator. So it's just, with me, Dwayne, Josh, and Tim, we're the new guys in the quarterback room. We're the new guys. We haven't been here for 5 years. Like Colt has, or Jay, guys that the offense has been. At the same time, the offense has kind of evolved in different ways too. So, there's thousands of variables in there that make it different.
When you're playing with a new team with a bunch of new guys and just new offense and all that stuff, how long is training camp enough to really develop the kind of chemistry you really want, or is that something that just keeps evolving?
It's different, man. It's different everywhere. I think there are certain guys that I look out there and I just know how they move. I can read their body language and it just clicks. Some guys it takes work, but those guys that take a lot of work, that's been some of the best receivers I've played with, and the connection we had was great. For example, in Minnesota, I didn't get any of the first team reps until week 2, and I was starting the rest of the year, and we got it going pretty quick. There were certain guys that it clicked instantly, and then there's certain guys that it took a while to get going too. But so it's different every time. But there are priceless reps going on right now. The mistakes we make out there, we learn from those, we grow from those. We sit there and talk to our coaches. We go and talk to the receiver about it. We talk to the line with protections. Then we get to go walk through it afterwards. And so the fact that we're getting all these reps now in training camp and learning, through these things, is priceless. And I think that I think the chemistry is definitely building. I think that's what training camp's for.
Who are some of the guys that you maybe think you've clicked with faster than some of the other younger guys maybe?
It's different for different guys, and it's different on different routes for different guys. Certain schemes, certain plays, and it's nice that there's players like Jordan Reed and Trey, Josh, that have been in this offense and know what it's like. So, to go talk to those guys and like, okay, how did you see this? So I can see it like you see it, so that I can be ready to throw when you put your foot in the ground and go, or when I see you drop your weight here, I know I can put it to this spot because that's where you're going to be. The timing and rhythm of that stuff with all those guys, and it's been so good. It's hard for me just to list one or two guys, but I think the receiver room is competing their butts off. Man, they're playing so well. The tight end room is special. Running backs have done a great job catching the ball in the backfield. So, all those guys have been doing really well. And I think protection-wise, where we're getting to with the offensive line, I think that's coming along really nicely.
Case, not only as Les asked you about, your reps are kind of all over the place somewhat because there's three of you at quarterback. It's not like when you're with the ones, it's the same guys, or the twos, it's the same guys, because Jay's mixing and matching the receivers and the line and so on. How does that add to the challenge of getting up to date with the system? You're getting your own reps, and then every time you're out there, seemingly it's with a different combination of guys.
Yeah, that's somewhat of a challenge, but I've also been a part of teams where at the end of the season, week 13, 14, you look out in the huddle and it's, 5 new faces, and it's guys that maybe were here in training camp with you and went to another team and came back. It's all over the place. So you just never know who's going to be somebody that's going to contribute and be a big part of it. So, that's why every rep, no matter who it is, man, we're competing and getting better and trying to learn each other. And trying to coach everybody up, with whatever group you're going with.
And then specifically with that, with a tackle, you have Jaron Christian, Donald Penn, pretty new. Christian new, just that he's back on the field. What have you kind of seen from those guys as the blindside protectors?
They've done well. I actually knew Donald from before out in L.A. and have watched him, play a lot of football. So it's always nice to have a veteran guy, playing that backside there, who knows the game and knows what it takes to get ready. So, he's both those guys are going to be great additions.
Case, from the outside, there's this obsession of where you guys are, who's QB 1, 2, 3 day to day. How much do you know in terms of where you are on that ranking? And until the final decision is made, how much do you care?
I don't know. I didn't know. Somebody just asked me the question. A reporter just asked me the question, and I didn't know where I was on that. And I don't. Right now it's, whoever's in the game at whatever point. Like, we're all getting the reps, and we're all behind them, working on it. So, for me, like I said, right now it's not definitely not the most important thing.
One position you haven't mentioned is the center. How important is that? Somebody like Chase Roulier, for you to connect with?
Yeah, the connections is really important. Chase obviously, was not a part of a lot of the spring drills, so it was really nice for him to come in and we got to take our relationship to the next level when I got to actually take a snap from him. So I'm excited about him and just having a veteran guy there who knows the system and the protections, and makes me right a lot of times even when I'm wrong. So I've got a lot of love for my centers. I think that's a special bond that a lot of people never get to have, and he's my guy, man. I like Chase, all those guys, man, that have played played center, and we've been rotating a bunch of those guys through. So they're all doing a heck of a job.
You guys have, when you guys have a couple of days out here where the defense wins the day, how much do you guys read into that reaction?
Say that again.
When you have a day of camp where the defense wins the day, or you guys aren't able to get what you want to get out of the move the ball drills, how much do you guys react to that, or how much is that just part of the process for you?
I'm always competing. I always want to win. I hate the alternative. It sucks. So that's what I do. That's why we go out there. Like anytime we don't go score a touchdown, I'm pretty mad. Cool. I was going to use another word.